Hello and welcome to this course. The course is Mastering Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. It's a Stackly course brought to you by Stackly, www.stackly.com. All right, so seeing how this is a Stackly training or a course, you can call it a training or a course, I just want to give you a background about Stackly. We can be found online at www.stackly.com. What we do essentially is to provide solutions for publishers, for authors, for educational institutions. We simplify the publishing journey for publishers, for authors, for educators by offering curated solutions from manuscript packs that are ready to publish and also software and courses. We help turn your publishing dreams into reality. We also offer on our website, our store, we offer ready-to-publish manuscripts of public domain books in packs of 300, 150, and 60. And public domain books are essentially books that the copyright have expired. So it's free for anybody, anywhere to take them, publish, resell, turn them to movies, adapt to books, TV shows, whatever, and profit from them. So what we do at Stackly is we make it easy to publish on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. All our books are in industry standard sizes, and so when you get it, it's just plug and play. And also, apart from Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, you can publish our manuscript packs on Barnes & Noble self-publishing platform, which is called B&S Press. If you live in any of the countries where B&S Press operates, currently they operate in the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Spain, Italy, the Netherlands, Belgium, New Zealand, Canada, Australia, Germany, Ireland, and France. Final thing I want you to note about our manuscript packs is that they are made up of books that are in demand. Although they're public domain books published many years ago initially, they are still in demand. That's the important thing to know here. All right, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so now we go to slide 3, and it's titled Course Modules. And so here we get to look at exactly what we're going to cover in this course, the whole course. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand what is Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. Then we'll move on to setting up an account on Amazon KDP. Then we'll move from there to creating a new title on Amazon KDP. So essentially, a title means a book. In the publishing world, when you say title, create a new title, it means create a new book. Then we'll move to uploading your manuscript on Amazon KDP. Hopefully you have your Stackly manuscript pack. You take one from there and just begin to create the book, and it'll be exciting. Then today we'll also look at how you create your book cover. There are many options. Amazon KDP has book cover templates. You can either choose to use an image or use one without an image, or you can import your own book cover from any other platform like Canva or any other one you use. And once you put in your book cover, the next thing we're going to look at is your book preview. Then we'll go to book pricing. Here I'll teach you on pricing strategies to use for both your paperback and your hardcover books, so that you can optimize your sales and make money, make good earnings, at the same time make good sales. All right, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, we are on slide 4 right now, and just for your information, the slide number is found at the bottom right-hand corner of your slide. So anytime I mention slide 4, slide 7, slide 15, look there to be sure you're on the right slide. It's very important. All right, so now, what is Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing? It is Amazon's self-publishing platform that allows writers, authors, and publishers such as yourself to self-publish their work as print books and also as ebooks without needing a traditional publisher or agent like it used to be back in the day. Before you could publish, you have to have an agent or you have to go to a large publishing company. But now you can do that on Amazon KDP. It's really good. Some of the features are: one, an author or a publisher like yourself can earn royalties of up to 60% on the sale price of their print books. Pricing control is fully in your control. You have the ability to set your prices for your books, and you also can change those prices at any time you want. So a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a year from now, you can log in and change the price of your book. Then also, you can also get your books in paperback, in hardcover, and in ebooks. Then KDP platform is so easy to use, so user-friendly. It provides you a step-by-step guide on how to format, upload, and publish a book, and you don't really get stuck at any level. It's really good in that way. It really has ease of use. It's very user-friendly, and there are no upfront costs to publish on KDP, because all the books you publish on KDP are print on demand, meaning that when a customer buys it from the Amazon website, Amazon KDP staff will print and send and ship it to them. So no upfront cost for you. No upfront cost for you. And you don't have to pay anything to own a KDP account. You just open an account free, publish for free, and your book is out there. You may want to spend money on something like buying the Stackley manuscripts or paying for a Canva subscription to make book covers, or any other thing you feel you need to pay for. But Amazon KDP itself is free. There are no upfront cost. When the customer orders the book, they print the book and send to the customer. So it's just a very wonderful system. All right, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so we're on slide 5. And from now, we really get into setting up an account on KDP and creating a title, publishing it, and getting it out there, available for sale. All right, so the first thing you need to do, if you have not done this already, please do this now. Create an account on Amazon KDP. As you can see on the slide, the URL is there, the website. And what you're meant to do, if you've not set up an account before, is to click Join KDP. But if you already have an account on KDP and it's not open right now, please sign in, because this is going to be a practical course. So please sign in and let's begin. All right, so see you on the next slide. Okay, so now we are on slide 6. This is the part where we talk about how you set up your Amazon account, your Amazon KDP account, and you put in your information. So if you click on the part that says your account, that's your account, is at the top bar. You find that it has 3 sections. One is for personal information, the other one is called getting paid, and the third part is tax information, which is a tax interview, really. So in all of this, the process is still very easy. It's a guided process. You go step by step, so you can't make a mistake. All right. So after you've put in your personal information, your name, date of birth, address, telephone, and so on, you now need to put in your bank information in the part that says getting paid. And your bank details is the bank you want to be receiving your Amazon earnings. So the way Amazon KDP does it is that for any given month, all the sales made in that month, all your earnings are calculated and paid to you after 60 days. So take, for instance, you're in January, all the sales made in January, Amazon will add up everything, Amazon KDP will add up everything, and they will pay you at the end of March. That's 60 days. So the end of January, the end of that period, they'll calculate 60 days and pay to you at the end of March. So when you make sales now, you're going to receive your earnings in 60 days at least. So that's how it works. But it's okay because it rolls over. So whatever you make in January, you get paid in March. Whatever you make in February, you get paid in April, and so on and so forth. All right. So it's important for me to mention that under tax information, some countries don't have a tax treaty with the United States of America, and Amazon, being an American company, will withhold a percentage of your earnings as taxes. So, for instance, if you're from the United Kingdom or you live in the United Kingdom, you live in South Africa, you live in Canada, and many other countries that have a tax treaty with the United States of America, Amazon will withhold zero of your tax because they have that understanding with your country that tax that is from business done with an American company like Amazon, the tax should go to the UK or Canada and so on. But for some other countries, there's no tax treaty, or the tax treaty says they should pay 5% tax to the US, or 10% or 15%, and so on. So it just depends on your country. But as you fill the tax interview form, which you see it on the page when you're trying to set up your account, after you've done your personal information, you move to getting paid, you put in your bank details, you move to tax interview. It's just a simple guided process, very easy. All right, something else I should mention is that depending on the country you live in, you may not be able to receive your Amazon may not be able to pay into your account directly because they don't have a system to do that. For instance, Amazon pays directly into bank accounts in the US, of course, United Kingdom, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, South Africa, but there's some countries like Nigeria, for instance. Amazon doesn't pay directly into people's bank accounts. So you have to come up with another system. So there are a lot of a lot of platforms like Payoneer, Wise, there's Gig Pay, and so on that people use. People who publish with Amazon KDP use that to generate US account numbers or UK account numbers or Europe account numbers, and they get paid through those accounts. It's very popular now among digital nomads and freelancers because the world has really changed. So all these fintech companies have come up with these solutions where you can stay in any country in the world and receive your earnings from any country in the world, any company from in any country in the world, if you understand what I mean. So you can stay in Nigeria, you can stay in Romania, you can stay in any country and get your earnings from Amazon, even if they don't have an arrangement where they pay directly into the bank account in that country by creating an account with fintech companies or digital banks, as they're called, virtual bank, digital banks, and they'll give you your bank details, which you can input into the getting paid section. So on the next slide, I'm going to put the information of different fintech companies, virtual banks, digital banks that many people tend to use. So that if you fall into that category where in your own country, Amazon doesn't pay directly into the bank account in your country, you can use these virtual banks to generate a US bank account or UK bank account or Canadian bank account or Europe bank account, as the case may be, and you use it and input in the getting paid section, and Amazon will pay you and you withdraw your money through any arrangement you have you have set up with a virtual bank or digital bank. It's a very popular method used by digital nomads and freelancers and Amazon KDP publishers. All right, so let's move to the next slide and you can see the options available for that. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, Amazon pays directly into the bank accounts in most countries, they pay directly into the publisher's bank account in most countries. but there's some countries that are unsupported. So what those countries, people in those countries do is to create virtual bank accounts, and they receive a US bank account number or a UK bank account number or a European bank account number. That's a bank account in Europe is created for them, and they provide those details in the getting paid section of Amazon KDP. There, and when the time comes, when you're due for your earnings to be paid, Amazon KDP pays into those virtual bank accounts, and you withdraw your money or transfer your money, as the case may be, whatever arrangement you've set up with the financial services company. So these are four financial services companies offering virtual bank accounts in US dollar, in euro, and in pounds. Payoneer is the largest, I think, and serves most countries in the world, if not all. GeekPay serves countries in Africa, and Gray serves some countries in Africa, not all. Revolut is a European bank, is in the EU, so it serves countries around the world anyway, but you have to confirm by checking to be sure that your own country is served by these financial services companies. Then you open a virtual bank account and input your details in the getting paid section. All right, so see you on the next slide. Okay, so we've come to this point where we're now actually creating a new title on KDP. So what you do is you click on bookshelf. That's the first thing you do. You click on bookshelf. If you look at the line above the line where you have bookshelf, where I've circled it and I've written number 1. If you look just above that line, you have your account. That's what I was talking about, where you need to click on it to input your details, your name, phone number, and so on, and your bank details, and fill out the tax interview. And so when you're done with that, it will bring you to a place where you can click on bookshelf and start to publish. So the first thing you do is click on bookshelf, and the second thing you do is click on create, where I circled it and I wrote number 2. You click on create, and it'll take you to the next page, and we'll start from there to create your paperback or your hardcover. All right, so when you come to this page that says, what would you like to create? Let's start with paperback. So click on paperback. Click on create paperback, and it will take you to begin to create. So on slide 10 right now, which says creating a new title on Amazon KDP Part A. So essentially, these are the headings you're going to see one after the other on your page. So by the time you click create paperback, you should see language, book title, subtitle, series, author, name, translator, book description, and publishing rights. So all of these will be on your screen. So we're going to go through them one by one. So if you look at your page, you can see, when you click on create and you select create paperback, you're going to see language first. So typically, what you're doing now with Starkly manuscript packs, you leave it on English, then move to book title. So I've decided that we should publish Confessions of St. Augustine. So that is in your manuscript pack. So just go to your manuscript pack now and select Confessions of St. Augustine. We just want to use that for the training. So open it, open Confessions of St. Augustine. Let's go with in your manuscript pack, you should have the one that is 6x9. That's the book size, 6x9, and 6.14 by 9.21. Let's go with the 6.14 by 9.21. Let's go with that. Okay, open that on your screen. It's a Word document. All right, so you see on your screen, you must see right now, if you're in the manuscript, you can see the Confessions of St. Augustine. On the second page, you have copyright 2023 XXX Publishing. So where you have that XXX Publishing, put in the name you have chosen for your publishing company. So for instance, let's say I've chosen Joyful Sounds Publishing, or Joyful Music, or Joyful Reads. Okay, yeah, Joyful Reads Publishing sounds nice. Let's say I choose that. Let me input it. Joyful Reads Publishing. Joyful Reads. So type it in. Joyful Reads Publishing. Then you come back, you just hold on that. You put in Joyful Reads Publishing. All right. So now you also copy the book title, The Confessions of St. Augustine, and paste it where you have book title. The subtitle, this particular title doesn't have a subtitle. This particular book doesn't have a subtitle, so you can move on. So, okay, series is not a book with a series, so you can leave that empty. Edition number, same thing. As you can see, edition number is optional, so scroll past that. It's not necessary. All right, so this is very important now. The author name. So what you do is go back to the manuscript, open it again, and get the author name. Go back and get the author name from there. So if you scroll down, you see the author name is actually St. Augustine. It's in all caps, so you can change that, copy it, paste on another Word document, and change it to initial caps. Or you can paste it as all caps if you want in the author name. So just copy St. Augustine and go back to your KDP and put it and paste it. Where you have author, you can see you have primary author or contributor. You have prefix, first name, middle name, last name. So what I would suggest is that you just place St. Augustine in the last name box. Just put the whole thing in the last name box. All right, so if you scroll down, you see contributor. If you click on author, you see there's a drop down list where you can select translator, editor, forward. You see, this book in particular is a translated book. So select translator. Then go back to the document and you see the translator. Just scroll down a bit. Yeah. You see it's written on the, I think, fourth page. It's written translated by Edward Bouverie Paulsey. So copy that name. Copy the name of the translator, just the name. Then you come back and paste it. So this time around, paste it where you have first name. You paste it there. Then you leave the first name and the middle name in the first name spot. And just select the surname and place it where you have the surname. All right. The next thing we need to do is to create the book description. So what you do with the book description is you use ChatGPT to generate a book description. So you can go now, open your ChatGPT account. It should have been opened by now. Then you just say, give the prompt to ChatGPT and say, create or write. You say write a concise, or just you can say write a concise book description for the Confessions of St. Augustine. Or you can say write a concise book description for the Confessions of St. Augustine, and it will generate it. Then when it generates it, you copy it and paste it in the description box and you move on. The next thing is the publishing rights. So there are two options here. It says I own the copyright and I hold necessary publishing rights. And the second option is this is a public domain work, because it is actually a public domain work. And Amazon KDP is very strict about this, and you should be too. So you have to select this is a public domain work. So select this is a public domain work. And the next thing, you move to the next. It says primary audience. Sexually explicit images or title. The question is, does the book cover or interior contain sexually explicit images, or does the book title contain sexually explicit language? The answer is no. So you just select no. And when you select no, you just move on. You don't really need to select the reading age, because it says, as you can see here, it says optional. You move on to the next. So the next is primary marketplace. It says choose the location where you expect the majority of your book sales. So I would always recommend, in my courses to my students, that you just leave it on Amazon.com, because that's the largest marketplace of all the Amazon marketplaces. So let that be your primary marketplace, except it's not in the public domain in the US. But if the book is in the public domain in the US, then leave it on Amazon.com. And if you click on that, you can see the drop down list, amazon.co.uk and so on. So just leave it on Amazon.com. Then the categories, this is another aspect. So you have to choose categories, otherwise you can't continue, you can't move on. So click on choose categories, click on it. Okay, you must have answered the question about is this content sexually explicit or not. You should have answered that before it allows you to choose categories. So when you choose categories, and in the categories you can see when you click on it, it produces a drop down list and says select one. So Confessions of Saint Augustine is actually a memoir, a biography. So you just click on biographies and memoirs. Then I would suggest, this is my suggestion, this is me, doing the course, training you. I would suggest you choose, because you have three options. So first of all, click on the right hand side, click on memoir. Right. So go down at where it says add another category, click on that, and still come back and select biographies and memoirs. Then under the top category, just beneath that, the subcategory, click on that and look for the closest option, which in this case we can say leaders and notable people. Then you on the right hand side, which says placement. Under placement, you have leaders and notable people. Click religious. Click on religious. So you've chosen two categories out of three. All right, you still have the option of choosing another category. What categories do is to help you have your book selling, so people can choose. When people are looking for your book, it shows up in the right category. So click on it, it says add another category, and go again and say biographies and memoirs. And this time you can say general, or you can still go back and say leaders and notable people. Then you still go to the subcategory, or just rather than say leaders and notable people, you know what, just go to the biographies and memoirs, then choose general. Just choose general, that's fine. So now you've chosen your three categories. Then you save categories and you move on. Okay, so now keywords. So now you're going to input your keywords. First thing, always know that your first keyword should be the book description. So you put the Confessions of St. Augustine in full. The Confessions of St. Augustine, Saint Augustine. Then the next one, you make it the Confessions, make it a variation of the first title, but still accurate. So you say the Confessions of Saint. That's, you don't write the saint in full, right? St. Augustine. This is just a trick I learned and I practice for my own self. when I'm publishing on Amazon KDP, you put the Confessions of Saint St. Augustine, because some people will search for the book that way. Then the next thing you need to do is to write the biography of Saint Augustine, because these are all terms people use to search for the book. Then don't forget to put the name of the author. Write Saint Augustine. You can also put Confessions of Saint Augustine translated by Edward. You put the name of the translator, and you still have some space, so you can put, but everything you put in the keyword should be accurate, because KDP doesn't allow you to just generate gibberish that has nothing to do with the book. All right, then when you've done that, you move forward. The next question is, the next category is publication date. You just leave it as it is. No need to touch anything, except your book was previously published and you're just republishing it. Then you can say my book was previously published. Otherwise, just leave it where it is. Then release date, just leave release date as it is and click save and continue. All right, so I hope if you scroll up, what I would always suggest when I'm teaching people how to do this is that always go back. You finished, so instead of clicking save and continue, just go back to the top and cross-check everything. So look through it and say book title, is it accurate? Confirm is accurate. Subtitle, okay, there's no subtitle, you leave that blank. Series, you leave that. Edition number, leave that. Author, confirm that you've written the name of the author correctly. That's why I always say copy and paste rather than typing it from memory. Same thing with contributor. Ensure that the contributor, you have actually selected translator so that it shows up as a translator on your page, on the book page on Amazon. So you make sure that you put in the name correctly. There are no typos, there are no errors. The book description, ensure that it's the right book description you've pasted. You've not mistakenly pasted the book description of another book, or you've even just pasted another random document. Just look through to be sure. And also confirm, cross-check that you've selected this is a public domain work, and cross-check that you've selected, in this case, no under sexually explicit images or title. That's primary audience. You say no, this book does not contain sexually explicit images. This particular book. That is not to say that you cannot publish erotic fiction on Amazon KDP. You're allowed to, but you have to select yes, this book contains sexually explicit images or language. But in this case, no. So you just scroll down. Primary marketplace, as I said, leave it on Amazon.com, because this book is in the public domain worldwide. So leave it on Amazon.com. Then, under categories, you've selected your 3 categories. Just confirm that it really aligns with the book. And you'd ask, how do I know that this is the right category? How do I know that what the book is about? Don't forget, when you generated your book description, you should actually read through it to understand what the book is about, and that helps you to choose your book categories. All right, then your keywords, you just make sure that your keywords are in order, and you now come and say save and continue. All right, so I just thought I should do a screen recording as well to make it easy. So when you click on create paperback, this is what should pop up. So as I said earlier in the other slide, this is language, English. You leave it on English because the manuscript is in English. Of course, in the future, you're going to learn how to publish even books that are not in the Starkly manuscript part. You can create your own manuscripts. If you have books you want to publish in other languages, fine, you could do that. But for today, we're learning how to publish books that are written in English. Alright, so the book title, I've chosen to publish for today The Confessions of Saint Augustine. So this is it. Select that. The Confessions of Saint Augustine. So you just copy that, copy it, and come back here and paste it. And I would suggest just scroll down to keywords. You see keywords, I just paste it so that you don't have to, look for that again. So you just come back. Alright, so subtitle, it doesn't have a subtitle, so you leave that blank. Scroll down, series, it's not a series, so you leave that blank. Edition number, optional, it doesn't have an edition number, you leave that blank. So now author, so in this case you go back to the document, to get the author, Saint Augustine. Don't put it in the first name, don't put it here, just put it here. And you can actually change it to then contributor. Look at translator. There's editor, there's forward, and so on. Make it translator. So you come back to the document, scroll down, and book description. So you can choose whichever one you want. Do you want the detailed one? Do you want to use the concise one? I feel like using the detailed one, so let me go with the detailed option. And if you read through, you can gather that it's a biography, and so when you go to the book, at least you should know what the book is about. Read the description, read through it, then come back here and paste it. So select, this is a public domain work. Does the book cover or interior contain sexually explicit images? No. Select no. So, categories. I've already selected the categories. You know, from the previous slide, I added this. So, let me just go back. You see what I did. Let me just remove this so that you can see how I did it. So this is what I did. Oh, sorry. I'm just doing this so I could show you. Alright, now choose categories. Come here and you select, because you've already seen from the description it's a biography. So select that, select general. One. You come here, add another category, select. Historical. So in the keywords, you see this is the Confession of Saint Augustine. You're creating options, so you put the Confession of Saint. Write this in full. These are the words people will look for. So put it full. You can't leave that. So publication date. Leave this. Leave this. This. Then you say save and continue. Then the next page, it brings you here. Get a free KDP ISBN. Select this. Copy that. Come to your document. Note the note the book size. This is the book size. Come here and you say save. So the print options, you see, black and white, cream, white. Select this. Select black and white interior with white paper because this is a biography. So, usually if you buy a novel, you see it's on cream paper, but something like a biography would typically be on white paper. So leave it on white paper. Then the size, the trim size. This is where you choose the book sizes. So you select a different size. Select this. It glossy. Then you come here and you say upload paperback manuscript. So while it's uploading, you just, of course, just allow it upload. There's nothing you can do. You just have to wait for it to upload. But you start to think about your book cover, how you want it to look. Just to, begin to imagine it, conceptualize it. How would you want to go about this? So to create a book cover, it has uploaded. So you can see, yeah. So to create a book cover, you say launch book cover. If you already have one that is already in PDF format, the front, the back, the ISBN number and all that, fine, you upload it here. But typically I'm going to train you how to use the KDP template to create the book cover. So you say launch cover creator. So I'm just showing you how to, come up with ideas. You can say cross of Jesus. Let's go with that. Choose design, style, preview. So continue. So you can choose any design you like. Choose any design you like. I have decided to choose this. So you can choose whatever design you like. You can change this. I would like to change this to this. Yeah. So don't put you don't have to write about the author. If you want, you can, but this is a public domain work, so really you don't have to. So the book title, you come here and you get this one, the concise version. You get this. Select the concise version and you come back here. So we're launching the previewer right now. So while that is happening, you you don't need to do any other thing. You're almost done really. After this, you're going to put in your pricing and get your book to go live. So what the book is doing is trying to create a preview, a book preview. Oh, all right. So this is it. This is how your book will look. So because this is a Stackley manuscript and I'm actually sure that this is all right, I can say approve, but you could go through it, look page by page till the end. This is how it's going to look. So approve this. Let's approve that and move to the next item. So after you've approved that, you see, it gives you all of this information. Summary. Gives you a summary of your book, what the paper type, the bleed settings, the finish, is it glossy or matte, the trim size, page count, and this is the printing cost. This is the printing cost. So save and continue. Select all territories worldwide. I may have mentioned that this book is in the public domain in all countries, but you need to confirm beforehand. You know, if you check your Stackley manuscript pack, you'll see the information. You see a booklet. You see a booklet, this, and you use this to calculate the information on how to calculate. Alright, so we go back. So okay, for the pricing, I just want to use this opportunity to show you how to do pricing strategy. So this is it. This is the minimum. This is the maximum. So let's go to Amazon. $9.95. This hardcover, 23. This is paperback, $13.99. This is $8.99. This is $6.95. This mass market paperback is the cheap, cheap material and so on. So let's just go back now and say, based on this, how much do I want to sell? Let's say $9.99. See, it will generate your royalty, see here. So you can add more, make it 10, 99, and it will be 158. Okay, 158. This one, leave this, don't select expanded distribution. Why? Because if you do select it, see what it comes to. Okay, just leave expanded distribution. I typically do that because when you click expanded distribution, the royalty it generates for you, it's just a few, it's very little, but I always feel that people can, the people, when you select expanded distribution, you don't really have control over how your book is sold or the quality. So I prefer to always just leave it on Amazon. Let Amazon KDP staff themselves handle the printing and distribution, and let your royalty be fixed at $158. All right, so you can make it more if you want. You can make it $11.99. You can make it $11.99, but I'll make it $10.99. Then this, using the 99, 10.99, that 0.99, it's a trick they use in marketing, pricing strategy, to make people feel they're paying less than they're actually paying. So you find out that books that you're selling and you put this 10.99 or 7.99 or 12.99, psychologically the person feels they're paying $10 when they're actually paying 11. So it's just a trick. You don't need to do it, but you may feel it's gimmicky, but it's just a pricing strategy that works. All right, and as you can choose to increase this, you can choose to increase this to $11.99 if you want. All right, so going down now to the UK, say 902. Going with the technique I use for pricing strategy, you say, okay, if I reduce this to $8.99, it looks better on the Amazon page. You can even make $8.99, fine. Then you see this euro gets confusing because they add taxes. In the UK, they don't add taxes to books, so you see no taxes. Same thing with the US, they don't add taxes to to books here. But you see, euro, in Europe they add taxes to books, so it brings the final, the selling price. This will be the final selling price on Amazon website. There's all these that you're seeing where I'm showing the cursor. So you can just decide to leave it. Then Japan, this is Japan. Always calculate. This is Japanese yen, and say if your royalties comes to 65 Japanese yen, say convert. So that means you should increase your royalties. It means because of the currency differences, you need to increase the price of the book. So you come here and you say, make it, let's say 1.8, say 185 yen. Okay, so you say, alright, this is better, really. This is a better price for the book. Alright, you leave it at that. Canadian dollar, it's okay. Then Australian dollar, say this is Australian dollar, so you say this is the royalty, 156. So you say convert. 158. So you come to create a hardcover and start all over again. Okay, so in slide 10 and slide 11, I have managed to create a video as well as, description, step-by-step description that covers all of this: the primary audience, the primary marketplace, the categories, keywords, and how to generate your ISBN number and where it goes in your manuscript. All right, what I did not talk about was the large print. I am going to talk about that when I'm creating a video on how to make the hardcover. I'll mention that just so you know, because in your manuscript, in your Stackly manuscript, there are actually some large print manuscripts. Large print in KDP terms means any manuscript that the interior is above 16 point font size. All right, so we have more or less covered everything on this slide. So I want to move now to show you how to create book covers in Canva. So if you don't have your Canva account, you can create a Canva account, canva.com. If you don't have it open, keep it open. The next slide, I'm going to be showing you how to create a book cover in Canva. Okay, just before we move over to Canva to learn how to create book covers, I thought I should talk about what's on this slide. All right, so in slide 10 and slide 11, I've actually, created a screen record video as well as voice description of step-by-step creating a new title. All right, so I mentioned that I showed you how to generate the ISBN number the free version of a free ISBN number on KDP, and copy it, paste it on your Stackly manuscript. It's actually on page 2 of your Stackly manuscript is where you have the copyright information. You paste the ISBN number there. It's very important that always make sure that it's accurate. You just copy and paste. Then I also mentioned that you should input the name of your publishing company so you can create a name. For me, I just created Joyful Reads. You can create anything and create the name of your publishing company and input it there. It's on the second page of your Stackly manuscript. Then when it comes to the part they said, is it AI generated content? You always select no whenever you're using a Stackly manuscript, because it's a public domain work. It's not AI generated, but that does not mean that in the process of you publishing your Stackly manuscripts, you can always create AI generated books. Because now that I've showed you how to, in case you did not know before, now you know how to use ChatGPT to generate your book description. So you might as well play around with ChatGPT and see how you can use it to create books. And also, apart from the Stackley manuscripts, also know that you can create, you can write your own books. You already have this manuscript, so you can use it as a template to create other books. You can use the Stackley manuscript too to, you know, use it as a manuscript, as a template to create what they call low content books like journals and so on. And it's the same process. You click on KDP, create a new title, put in the information, the book information, the name, the author, and so on, upload the manuscript, just the same process. So it's just wash, rinse, repeat. Okay, so as I said, no AI generated content when using Stackley manuscripts. So the print options are white, cream, and colored. Okay, so let me just give you a guide. So typically, if it's a novel, you would choose cream. Typically, if it's a novel, you would choose cream. I'm talking about print options right now. That's number 4 of these options you're seeing on your screen right now. You would choose cream if it's a novel, and if you would choose white if it's like educational or self-help book like The Science of Getting Rich or something. Then colored would be if you want to do like children's books. There are no children's books in the Stackley manuscript, but if you were to publish books in the future, near future, and you want to publish colored books like children's book, go ahead, select colored. Then choosing the book size, we've covered that. So whenever you want to publish, just check what is the book size of the Stackley manuscript I'm uploading. It's always written beside the name of the book. So you just see beside the name of the Confessions of St. Augustine, 6 by 9. That's the book size. 6.14 by 9.2 something. That's the book size. What KDP calls the trim size. Then the book cover, should it be glossy or should it be matte? I find that glossy is better. That's just me. But you would prefer, if you are the kind of person that prefers matte, or you want to mix it up, some books are glossy, some books are matte, go with it. Then upload the manuscript. So I've covered all this in slide 10 and slide 11. All right, so let's move on to the next issue. I'm going to, before I go to Canva, let me just cover maybe 1 or 2 slides. Then I'll switch over to Canva, do a screen record for you to really understand how to create a book cover on Canva and move it to KDP. It's very exciting to do that because the book cover can be more versatile, can be more beautiful, and so you'll see it as we go along. All right, so this slide titled Creating the Book Cover, which is slide 14. The options typically in KDP is that you could either have a KDP book cover with an image, or a KDP book cover without an image, or you have an externally designed book cover which you can make on Canva or any other program you're using. And remember, if you recall, when I was creating the book cover, I showed you how to add the book description. You add the book description on the book cover at the back. Then the author details. As I said, it's not necessary with public domain books. But if you are publishing your own book, or if you're publishing any other book that is not in the public domain, but remember, if you're publishing a book that is not in the public domain, ensure that you have the publishing rights. Always ensure you have the publishing rights before you publish a book on KDP. And if you do have the publishing rights, you keep the publishing rights in a safe place, because KDP may ask you to, show them a copy, so you have to have it ready. And you can also write books. The good thing with purchasing the Stackley manuscript pack is that the books come in different trim sizes, and so you can actually use that as a template to write a book, create a book. You can use AI to generate books. You can learn how to do that. There are so many YouTube videos on that, but just learn how to do it well so that your book is actually a quality book. Your account doesn't get reported for generating low quality junk. All right, so I think at this point I want to switch over to Canva and show you how to create an externally designed book cover and bring it back to use it on KDP. And we'll do that creating a hardcover version of the book we've just done, which is The Confessions of St. Augustine. All right. Okay. All right. So now we're on Canva. As you can see here is canva.com, and we're trying to create a book cover. All right. So this is what you do. You come to, you can either type in here book cover, type in here book cover, see, and say enter, or this is what I like to do. This is another option. Just come here, select on this line, select book cover. Right. So here we go. It's generating the different templates, or just it's generating the template. All right. So now you can see the templates are coming up. They're coming up. All right. It's saying these are the things I've used recently. You can see how nice they are. Things I've done recently. All right. So usually you can either scroll down and check all results. I do this to to discover things that I've not seen before. I do this. I just come and I scroll, and if I like something, I just create a, you just say add page, say put this if I like that. If I feel I'm not going to use it at all, or I want to explore that, I'll leave it on. I don't know why it has changed the font. I think you'll come back. So take this arrow to go back to where we were. Alright, see, it has come back. See, it's now its normal look. Alright, so you just use this and scroll to check what you think you want to use. And let's see. If you don't want to go through all that, what you can do is to come and select. You see where the cursor is, the categories. You can say, oh, you want fantasy, you want horror, you want black, you want forest, science, kids, food. Alright, so let me say I want to use this. Let me just try this. Okay, this is nice, but just so that I can create something that can explain better the process, let me click on styles. Okay, it's trying to come up. Okay, these styles has to do with bold, lively, that kind of what kind of vibe you want your book to have. Alright, you can also type in here book, search ebook templates. You can say, okay, it's a Christian book, so you can say, okay, Christian or journal, something Christian book, and you see, okay, yeah, the type of things that come up like this. And when you click on one, you can see further options like this. So you may choose to go with something that has this medieval look, given that it's a public domain book. But at the same time, it's a public domain book, but you still want it to look fresh and new. You may want it to look fresh and new. So let's say you would like to use this. You can decide to use this and say, okay, I'm going to edit the photo. I'm going to make it more, change something about the photo. I'm going to make it sharper. I'm going to make it brighter, and so on. You can put special effects. But then again, let me undo that and go back to design. I've gone back to design. because I really don't want to use something old. Alright, so you can actually use this if you want. You can change this, but you now put the book. Let's say the book title is Doing Things Your Way. Say, okay, in this case now you have to have the book author. So I'm just using this as an example because this would be good to just teach, or just, it's a course anyway. So let me just use this opportunity to give you some extra skill and knowledge. Okay, let's say I want to name this book. It's an original book. Let's say it's not in the public domain. It's an original book. It's a self-help book I titled Doing Things Your Way. Alright, so you see it's overflowing. So what I need to do now is to reduce the font size. See what I'm doing? Look at the cursor. I'm reducing the font size to fit into that space. I can also choose to centralize it, doing things your way, but I think it's nicer if it's, on one side, if it's aligned left. Alright, I can also choose to change the style. See, you can always change the font style to something, this looks, but please I'd like to, advise anytime you are creating a book cover, always make it clear, legible, easy to read. So you tend to avoid things that are too fancy if it makes it more difficult for people to read it. So let's say I want to use this. This is nice. I have to just reduce the font size just a little so that it can be neat. It can fit into that space. Good. Okay, so you can see it now. Then now I want to put the name of the author here. Let's say I want to use my own name, or I want to use a pen name. Let's say my pen name is Justice Grant, for instance. Let's move this. Alright. And I would like to maybe move this up a bit. It's always good to move this up a bit so that when you are publishing, it doesn't cut off or it doesn't get too close to the bottom, if you know what I mean. Keep this up a bit, the author's name. Alright, so you can see that it doesn't look nice because the background, it's clashing with what has been written. It's clashing with the font. It's clashing with the author's name. So what you can do here is to click on effects. See where always look at where the cursor is. So you see, click on effects and go here and say background. Note, we've not even started creating the real book cover we want to use. I'm just using this to just give a free course on how to use Canva to create book covers. Alright, so choose background. You see, as you chose background, it created some, sorry, let me go back. Effects. Alright, so see background, see where the cursor is. And it shows a black background, see. So you can always change this if you want. You can change this to gray, you can change this to white, you can change this to any color. But you see, for this particular book cover, I think the black works best. Because if you try blue, you try everything, it looks funny. But you put the black, you see, it really goes well. It really goes well. So if I decide that, okay, you know what, I personally don't really like the font of that. I prefer clear, just have that clear look so that it doesn't confuse the person looking at it. Let the eyes, it should align well with the person's vision. So I don't like things that are extremely fancy, that makes it difficult to read, like this one. Yeah, never go with such a thing, because in branding you always need to never sacrifice, extreme gimmicky designs for clarity. Okay, so let me look at something clear like this. This is alright. This is alright too. Let me see what else I could go. Okay, I could go with this. I could go with this London. Could go with this. Alright, that's alright. So I'll need to move this. Yeah, okay. So that's that. So how to download this and use in KDP, you would, oh, let me move this. The screen record stuff is right here. Okay, if you click on this, what is behind here says share. You click on that. And you say download. So you see it's 2 pages. If you want to download both pages, say okay, see the first page, my prayer journal. If you want to download both, yeah, it will come out in a zipped folder. But if you just want to download this book cover that says Doing Things Your Way by Justice Grant, you click on share, click on download, select, unclick all pages, and just select the page you want to download. Because I always find it's faster rather than downloading everything and you have to, and it gives you a zipped folder, you have to extract the folder. You just download the page you want, the cover page you want. Then you've selected the page you want. Now, what type of file do you want? JPEG, PNG. Both of them work, JPEG or PNG. But when you click on it, the important thing is that always remember to increase the size. So bring it all the way to the end. If you do not use PNG and you use JPEG, do the same thing. Bring it all the way to the end, increase the quality. I think, I'm not sure, because this my Canva is a paid version. So I think it's only in a paid version you can increase it this much, the quality this much. But you can try it out in yours and start with what you have. Work with the version you have. And I think Canva gives you 1 month free. I think, trial period is 1 month. So you might as well sign up for Canva and get 1 month free trial. And in that 1 month period, you're able to do so much before you decide you want to renew it or you want to terminate. You want to go back to the free version. Alright, so when you click here download, you see it will download. When it downloads, you use it. So I'll show you. Let's now create the one we really want to use, the Confessions of Saint Augustine. Alright, let's do that. So now we can either leave this space or we continue in this space. So for the sake of training, because it's a training, let's leave this space. Let's leave this space and start afresh so that if you did not really get it from the beginning, you can have an opportunity to refresh your knowledge. Alright. So let's go to home. Let's go to home. Alright, so as I said, you click here, book cover. It comes, you start afresh, creating a book cover, and all results. You see that generated all results. So let's go using all results, because you will never really know what's on Canva, what's available, except you scroll through. So let's see, we're looking for something that fits in for the Confessions of Saint Augustine. It's a memoir or a biography. We don't have, and it's a male figure, historical figure, a saint of the Catholic Church. You have to have all that in mind. So definitely you're not going to use anything like this, something like, people dancing in a field. You're going to use something more in line with it. And bear in mind, this is not a current person, like a current figure, is a historical figure. So coming here to pick a picture of a young man, this thumbs up, it doesn't work. This too doesn't work. This thoughtful, it doesn't work. So just find what works. Just find what you think works based on your own vision and your own view, of course. So, I would actually go with this, the Confessions of St. Augustine. This works, really. It's going to generate, it's going to come back. You see, I don't know why it jumps off, but it'll come back. Yeah, it's back. So now that I've looked at it closely, I'm not really liking this. So let me go back and find something else. Okay, let me make up my mind because I want us to move on to something else. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Let me just do what I usually do when I'm doing it myself. I'll just say, okay, let me journal. Let's see how journal or memoir or something, how they look. All right, I think I like this pink. Well, it's for a wider audience. So I don't know if people will really like pink. You know how some people feel about certain things. Alright, let's see. Should we use this? Okay, let me go with this. The Confessions of St. Augustine. So the best thing is usually go back to the document and select the cover just so that there's no typo, just be meticulous. Be as meticulous as you can possibly be with these things. Alright, you can see it doesn't align properly, so what you do, just reduce the font size a little here, reduce the font size till everything aligns, and you can move this in. You can also change the font style if you don't like this. If you feel it's too playful, you can, if you feel this is more suited to a novel, you can change the font style to something you feel is more in line with something more serious. Alright, so we'll have to just reduce it so it fits into the space. But even as you reduce it, make sure it still looks good and it doesn't, you know, at this point it's getting too little, it's getting too small, as a book cover. It would be better for it to be larger. So try to enlarge this. Alright, don't forget too that we can always, if you feel that it's clashing too much with the designs around it, you can always click on it and say effects and create a background. The background doesn't have to be this, clashy. You can scroll down and change the color of the background to something more mellow, something like this. Yeah, this is good. Or this, or this. But I think this really works with the gray in the background. Alright, so I'm going to stick with that just so that we can move on. But when you are working, that's why it's good to use this course, because you work at your own pace. You can try different things and come up with what you feel is the best option. Alright, so let's go back to the book and also get the author, name of the author. As I said, you want to be meticulous, so you don't want to make any errors, and so for me, that's the best way. I'm a meticulous person, so that's how I do my things. So you copy and you paste. So I don't like the font style for this St. Augustine. The name, the author name is just too playful for me, for a book this serious. So you always need to align the vibe of the book, the book itself, with what you're creating. So let's see if we use this. How does it look? And I get the feeling we need to put a background as well. We need to put, let's see, these are all good for, oh, I like this, let's try this. Yeah, it's good. So let me increase it. Let's increase it. All right. Then let's create a background. So click on effects and put a background. Once again, I feel that the yellow makes it look too gimmicky. So let's change that to that. All right. So that is that. All right. So now let me download that and take it to KDP and use it in my book cover for the paperback. Sorry, for the hardcover. That's just, you can use the same cover for your paperback and hardcover. In fact, it's recommended so that when people click to buy the hardcover, they see that the paperback has the same cover. But I'm just doing this because it's a course. I want to use a different cover for the book, for the hardcover, just to, for training purposes, really. All right, so you click here and say download, and because on this new um, this new book cover I'm creating, I have only one thing on my screen, so it's not giving me the option of downloading many pages. So JPEG, move this up, increase the quality, and download. Alright, so it's downloading, and so that is that. So that is how to create a book cover using Canva. So I'm going to show you on KDP how to input it on KDP and how it fits into the whole process. Alright. Okay, so we're now creating we want to go to create the hardcover version of the book we've published already. You can either use any order. You can do the hardcover version first before you do the paperback. You can do the paperback before you do the hardcover, so it's up to you. Alright, so now what you do here, see where we are. We're at bookshelf. We're actually at the bookshelf, on the bookshelf. So you can see here we're at the bookshelf. So if you log in, you happen to just log in, you just go straight to bookshelf and it brings you here. So see, you don't need to go and create a fresh title. Click here, you don't need to do that. Just come and say create hardcover, and the beauty of this is that it generates all the information. Oh, I need to put in the password again. Alright, so it generates all the information you have on your paperback. It just brings it, so you don't have to do it one after the other. That's why it's better to just say create the hardcover or the paperback version of a book you've already published. It just generates everything. You can see it has brought in the book title, it has brought in the author name and the contributor, that's the translator. It has brought in the book description. It has brought in publishing rights. This is a public domain work. It has selected the primary audience. It has taken from the paperback. It has brought the categories, keywords. So it's just so lovely the way it works. So you just say, all you need to do at this point is say save and continue. So just removing all those things. Okay, so now what it produces brand new is actually the ISBN. So assign ISBN. So it's going to assign you a new ISBN, and this is the one for the hardcover version of your book. Alright, so I would always recommend that you scroll down to see the book sizes available in hardcover, because the book sizes in paperback is usually different from what's available in hardcover. Okay, so thankfully, you see, you have the same. We published 6.14 by 9.21, and thankfully in hardcover you have that option here. So let's go with that. Or should we go with by 6? Should we go with 6 by 9? Let's go with the same thing. Let's go with the same. Alright, so we select black and white interior with white paper. It's usually recommended for novels, you use cream. For biographies, autobiographies, memoirs, educational books, self-help books, Christian books, books about saints, all those kind of books, use ordinary white paper, don't use cream. Alright, so we've chosen black and white interior with white paper. We've chosen 6 by 14 by 9.21 inch book trim size, that's book size. The bleed, say okay, no bleed. Let's still go with glossy. Or should we choose matte this time? Let's still go with glossy. Alright, then now don't forget that you have generated your ISBN, so you have to copy it. Copy it and go back to your book. Your book is here. And if you can choose to create a second copy of this book by going to your folder, where your folder is, and say copy. That's copy the document. So you have two versions. You have the hardcover version, you have the paperback version. You can do that. And don't forget this name, I just chose it, Joyful Reads. You can put anything you want. If that's what you've chosen as the name of your publishing company, of course you need to stick with the same name for the paperback and the hardcover version, but do change this. So click on the ISBN, delete that and insert the new one, and then ensure that it's in the same font size and style. So for this, we select that, we see that the font size is Garamond 10. The font size and style is Garamond 10. So make sure that this too, you select this and also ensure everything is in Garamond 10 and everything is in the same color as the rest. That's the ISBN you just pasted. Alright, that's the only thing you need to change. Everything else is the same. So just save the document. Control S. Just save it. And while it's saving, you just come back to your KDP document. It's saved now. Alright. So now come back and say, okay, upload manuscript, hardcover manuscript. Let me look for it. It's in, okay, let me do Augustine. Okay, Confessions of Saint Augustine. I think this is it, this one. Alright. So while it's uploading, you have to just wait for it to upload. Then we launch the book cover. And the beauty of this is I'm going to show you how to use a Canva created or an external book cover design that you've already designed outside of KDP. So this hardcover manuscript has actually uploaded. We can actually wait for it to generate and show, or we can just go to launch book cover and click on launch book cover or launching cover creator. Alright, so the same process we use with the paperback. You click continue, click get images for your cover, yes, from my computer. Then I'll go to my downloads. I have my downloads. Remember this, I created this for fun, doing things your way. I just did that for fun or just to teach. But this is actually what I want to use, the Confessions of Saint Augustine. And you allow it to populate or upload. So I hope that so far you're getting this, and because it's a course that you can always refer to, you can learn at your pace. And if you have any questions, You should send your questions to support@stackly and refer to the course. Say, on course on slide so and so, I need help. Just specify exactly what the issue is. Okay, so usually if you upload an external book cover you've designed on Canva or any other platform that is like Canva, this is what you should choose. This first design. See? This first design. That's what you should choose. Because if you can see, let's go back there, choose design. There's no other option that fits with that. Every other option here is either you're supposed to add just an image, but this is the only option here that is designed for you to add your cover that you've already created. So you can see you've already created this cover. I always prefer this space, this space. If you can look at the cursor, this space that is black, I always prefer it to be filled. So, and I really don't want to stretch the book, the cover, so I can just move it in a bit. Because this is hardcover, all of this outer side will be trimmed off, right? So, but if it's paperback, you may have to stretch it a bit. Just stretch it a little to fill in that space. Alright. Then the next thing you need to think about is your, okay, yeah, as I told you, no need to, when you're writing, and when you're it's a public domain book, you don't really need to put the picture of the author because it's not current, it's not something current. So you can just click. If you click out of this, it just makes it disappear. Then the book title, remember we had created the concise version. Yeah, so you still go copy the concise version from ChatGPT and you come back and you enter that. Right, you can change the design if you want. You can change it to something different. You can always do that. You can make it smaller by, if you don't want it to be really big, you just make it smaller so it's more concise on the page. Alright, so the next thing we need to think about is the back color, the color on the back. What do you think goes with it? You have, this is what you select, the secondary color. The secondary color is the back. So what do you think? I think yellow would go well. If you can just get the right yellow that goes with, yeah, this is perfect, I think. Let's try this. Okay, that's nice too. That goes well. Let me just show you how to get other options. You can also say, okay, gray will go with it, but from what we're saying, it's not even very nice with gray. I think, yeah, this is okay, really, but artistically I believe that we should go with this or this. Yeah, this. So it's up to you. The more artistic you are, the better. But always think about, if I were on Amazon looking for a book to buy, would I want to buy this book? How does it look to me? So think about that from the minute you start creating your book cover. Think about how to make it beautiful, how to make it nice, and bear in mind that the book cover, all the words, everything written should be inside this red line, because that's where Amazon KDP, they're likely to trim the book. So as you can see, the confession is spilling out from the red line. So I think what you need to do here is to shrink that in. Yeah, shrink that in, because this is hardcover and that is the line that it will be trimmed off. Paperback, the line is different. The line where it will be trimmed off is different from this. But for the hardcover book cover, this is the red line is where it will be trimmed off. So bear that in mind. Alright, so we can always preview. we're going to get to preview the book again, preview the cover on the book itself, so it's fine. So click preview. It's generating the preview now. Alright, so this is how it's going to look. And it'll be trimmed off. Don't forget, this is just a rough look, but it's going to be trimmed, and it will still show you how it's going to look when it's trimmed. So don't worry. So let's just say save and submit. Okay, scroll down. By now it has uploaded the manuscript. It has uploaded the cover successfully. So you go down, and the next question is, did you use AI tools in creating text, images, or translations in your book? The answer is no. So you select no, and you launch the previewer. This is where you're going to see how it will look when it's done. So you give it some time. It actually takes a minute or two. It will generate your, it's going to generate your book in a way you can preview it with the ISBN number and everything. So hopefully, as you're watching this or listening to this, you're also working on your own KDP title. So that will help you to, publish your title alongside while you're doing the training, while you're doing the course. Okay, so as you can see, if you click on the lines on the book, it will tell you what is what. Like now, if you click on this, it'll tell you white line. This line represents the edge of the visible cover area after it's printed. So this is the edge of the area after it's printed. The red line, see, the inner red line, all text and graphics must be inside this line. Anything outside will be cut off. You see, that's why we shrunk the cover. And that's why it's important when you're on Canva to get high quality and large book size cover page. Alright, so now we now know that all of this that we're seeing in the box is what will be the book. The rest will be trimmed off. Okay, so we won't waste much time here because we already know how it looks, right? We're just now going to approve this and go and put in our pricing and get it sent off for review by the KDP team. And as soon as they review, they will send you an email to tell you that your book is now live on Amazon, and they'll send you the link. You receive the link so you can actually click and see your book on Amazon. And if you have a website, or you have you're active on social media and you have a large following, or you have a book club or anything like that, you can always go and copy the URL of your book, or just share it on Facebook or on social media, or share it on any platform where you advertise your books, and you can get people to buy your books. Alright, so as we said earlier, this book is in the public domain globally. So you select all territories worldwide rights, because it's in the public domain all over the world. those books that are in the public domain only in the United States and in Canada and so on, you just come here and click individual territories and say United States and Canada. Those ones are in the public domain only in the United States, Canada, UK, or they're in the public domain only in the UK, you select UK. Or if it's just Europe, you select European countries, But in this case, it's in the public domain in all territories. And you ask, how do I know it's in the public, in which countries is in the public domain? Before you publish any book, including the books in the Stackley manuscript pack, always confirm that it's in the public domain in all countries. How you do that? Within your Stackley manuscript pack, you'll see a PDF document called copyright information for authors or copyright information for publishers, something like that. And you just spend maybe 15 minutes reading it to understand how to calculate the copyright terms of books, right? All the books in the Stackley manuscript pack are in the public domain, but some of them are in the public domain in the US, Canada, that's North America. It's not in the public domain in the United Kingdom. Some are in the public domain everywhere, but mostly they're all in the public domain globally. That's the thing. But I'm just telling you as an added measure, always confirm and check and look at that copyright information for publishers and understand how it works. All right. So it's in the public domain all over the world. So you select all territories, and bear in mind, hardcover books are usually more expensive, and you too will make more money from it. So the pricing for the hardcover book should be minimum of $16.10. So let's just start with $19.99 and see what does it generate as this is the printing cost, $9.66. Your rate, you're getting 60% of the earnings from this book. Amazon is taking 40%, which some people would argue is fair, some people would argue is not fair. But when you think about it, you're using their platform, you're not paying any money upfront, and they will handle the printing and the shipping and all of that, and the branding, the marketing to bring in customers to buy your books. So they take 40%, you take 60%. All right, so if you feel that this $233 here is insufficient as your royalty, you feel you want to make more, you can increase it. But I would stick with this, or you could make it $20.99. Let's see if you make it $20.99, because as we said, hardcover books are more expensive. But when you make it $20.99, it doesn't increase your royalties by that much, but increases the book and takes it above $20. So personally, right now, I would stick with $19.99, but that's just me. You can increase it if you want. If you feel, oh yeah, it based on other prices I've seen on Amazon for this book, hardcover, no, this is great, it will sell, fine. Alright, so when you do that for the .com marketplace, you come down to the .co.uk, that's UK marketplace. And I would like to make this a smooth figure, so I'll make it £16.50. And you see, generate a new royalty for me. See, it comes to $2.92. That's what I make when this book is sold. That's what I make. And you make $2.33 when this book is sold. Alright, so for euro, this is, I told you earlier, I think I did, that euro is all over the place in terms of the VAT, the taxes for book sales. And so it just changes the selling price. This is the price you've put. You look at it. This is the price you've put, $19.99, and that is what is going to be sold, the list price. See, that's the list price. But when it comes to Europe, the list price that you put they're going to include VAT, and the final list price will be what is written beside it here. As I said, it's all over the place. So, and these are the rest of the countries, this one and this one. And for me, I think it's okay. So I'll just come and I'll say, publish your hardcover book. If you want a proof copy, it's going to send it to you. You're going to download it. It's in PDF. Let's just say, get a proof copy, save and continue. Let's just try that. If you want a proof copy, that's you want them to send um it to you. You will order it and pay. Submit your proof request and pay for it, and they'll send it to you. But we just want to move on, and we don't want to buy the copies because these are public domain works. If it's your personal book, you're publishing your book, you may say, okay, you know what, I want to see how it looks before it goes live. So you save as draft and request a proof copy, and Amazon will post it to you. You have to pay for that though. So now let's just go ahead and publish our hardcover book. And I think that really brings us to the end of the whole process of how to create a new title. And so you use the same process to create more. These are some of the things I've created just recently, and I decided to use this Confessions of St. Augustine for this course, to create this course. And so that is that. Alright. Alright, so the book preview on this slide, actually we've covered it already. I just wanted to recap that when you publish a book and you create the book cover, you upload the manuscript, and it takes you to review the book. This is typically how it looks, and always note that these lines, the red line and the white line, it means something. It means where the cover will be cut off. So always take note of that. Okay, so on the book pricing, we've covered it, but I just want to cover just a few things that I think are important. We've covered territories, the primary marketplace, always make it Amazon.com. The pricing, I've talked about using the psychological trick of using 0.99, or if 99 is too far for what you want to price the book, make it 0.50, that kind of thing. Just make it either always 0.99 or 0.50. And the rule, or a general rule, I would suggest you follow. You can do as you wish, but this just helps. And I noticed that it has helped me to make a lot of sales on KDP. Is that for paperback books, especially books that are from 70 pages to 180 pages or 170 pages, the general thing is that you can set your price in such a way that your royalty falls between $1.50 to $2.70, price range. That's for paperback. Then for hardcover, because the people who buy hardcover books are more affluent, tend to be more middle class and affluent, and are willing to spend money on a book. So usually hardcover books, normally they sell for more, and you can set your royalties for your hardcover book to earn between $2.50 to $4.50. That is just a general guide that paperback books, you make less on it and you make more on hardcover books. And paperback books are usually cheaper. Even the production cost is cheaper, but hardcover books are more expensive. People buying hardcover books are willing to spend more. So you also can do your pricing in such a way that you're making between $2.50 to $4.50 on a hardcover book. And then when a book is a very large book, like those biographies that come to like 400 and something pages, People that buy those books, because the books are big, the book itself will be expensive. They'll be willing to even pay for it. So you can increase your royalties in the paperback to about $2.80 as a starting point, and in the hardcover you can make your royalties from $3 and above. All right, I hope that has been helpful. Then regarding extended distribution, why I personally do not teach people that, oh yeah, select extended distribution is this. When you click extended distribution, you discover that what you're going to get from it is maybe 30 cents or 50 cents or sometimes less. When you click, your royalties, you see you're going to earn maybe $2 a book or $1.50 a book. Then you now select extended distribution. You see that what you eventually get is 40 cents a book. I always feel that it could make your book to be bastardized, in the sense that the people that are doing the extended distribution will flood Amazon with the cheap version of your book. That's just what I feel. Or you could find you can even find out that your book is selling, but you're being paid the extended distribution price, which is 30 cents, 40 cents. So I usually don't select extended distribution in my own books. I just select, Amazon. Let it be sell on Amazon, and let me get my royalties from Amazon, $1.50 or $2 or $3 or $4, whatever is there. And I discovered that, God has been good. The books sell and I make a reasonable amount of money from it. All right, so that is that for book pricing. Okay, so I just added this part because I think it's important As at September 2023, Amazon KDP instituted a 3-book rule. That's 3 books a day maximum. What brought about this, and from what I read in the news, what brought about this was people were flooding Amazon KDP with low quality artificial intelligence generated junk books, and it was affecting the customer experience. Customers were complaining, and so they limited it to 3 books a day per person. It wasn't like that before. So what I would suggest is that you pace yourself, since you can publish 3 books a day. And these 3 books a day, remember, the 3 books means you can publish, like as we have done, Confessions of St. Augustine. You can publish it in hardcover. You can publish it in paperback. You can also publish it in ebook version. So you would have to take the Stackley manuscript and turn it to the ebook version, to the Kindle version of the book. I think I'm going to talk about that on this same slide, but let me just wrap up the issue of this 3 books a day rule. So what you need to do is this. If you feel that you want to publish all your books in your Stackley manuscript pack as soon as possible, what you do is every day ensure that you're uploading and publishing your 3 books a day, even on Sundays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So you just plan your schedule in that way, that every day you're uploading 3 books, 3 books tomorrow, and so on. And it gets to a point where you have uploaded all your books that are on your Stackley manuscript pack. And also note that your Stackley manuscript pack has large print version as well. So the large print version, you would create a new title. So it's like a bonus. Stackley is giving you a bonus, or has given you a bonus, where you have the normal size version of the book, which is in maybe font size 12 or 14. Then you have the large print version of the book, same book. So you would go and create a new title on that, and you put in bracket in the subtitle. This really works for me. I'll put in bracket in the subtitle, large print version, or large print, so that people who are looking for large print books will just click on it on Amazon when looking for for the book. And also note that in the content page, in the page, in the page, as you're setting it up, there's a place where it asks you to tick if it's a large print version. If it's a large print version, remember to tick it so that it shows up in Amazon as a large print version, so that customers looking for the large print version of the book will buy it. Another tip is this: what I usually do in a book description, I'll put in bracket, this is a large print version. All right. Let's move on to the issue of creating ebooks. So you can publish public domain books as ebooks on Amazon KDP, but KDP has a rule that the books must be differentiated in some form. It must be differentiated in either of these three ways. Number one, it must have up to 10 illustrations. Number two, it must be an original translation. That is a translation you created. Or it must be an original annotation, which means it must have original content such as study guides, literary critiques, historical content, or detailed biographies. And with ChatGPT, it's easy to create that. It's easy to create a study guide. It's easy to create a historical context or a detailed biography of the writers or people in the book. For instance, if you are trying to create a Kindle version, an ebook version of a book like a Shakespeare book with different characters, you would create the historical context of, let's say, Macbeth. You create the historical context, or any other book. You create the historical context of the book, and you publish that as your Amazon KDP ebook. That's the ebook version, the Kindle version. But also always remember that you have to put that differentiation in the title somehow. You have to put it in the title. It's a rule. So if you're saying the Confessions of St. Augustine, you have to put in bracket annotation or annotated, or in bracket illustrated, when you put in illustration. So you can find, let's say, is a saint like St. Ignatius. He has his books, he has his pictures out there. You can find his pictures. You can find pictures of the monastery where he was situated. Just create your own illustrations. But in the Stackley manuscript, we have not included ebook versions. We have not. We just put the print version and what you can use for the print version and hardcover version. All right, so this is really important so that you don't allow Amazon KDP to terminate your account for any reason. I have to let you know this, that Amazon KDP does not allow you to have two accounts. So if for any reason you feel you want to have a second account or a third account or a fourth account, this is what you need to do. You need to make sure that it's in a different email address. You created with a different email address, a different phone number, a different name, and different bank account details. All right? So different name, different phone number, different email address, and different bank account details. It can't be in the same name. It can't be in the same email address with another account, and so on. So I just thought you should know that they don't allow it. It's in the small print, the fine print, but who really reads all that? But so I'm just pulling out the key issue here, which is do not open two accounts. If you do, make sure. I actually was having a live chat with the customer service staff. They didn't tell me outright, oh yeah, you can have a second account, but let it be in a different email address. But they told me that how they track these things is through your email address, your phone number, and your bank details. So if you have a different account and is in a different email, phone number, a different name, different bank account details, they won't be able to track it. And so it can stand on its own, and you can have multiple accounts in that way. So that's just a point I'm letting you know, just so that you don't allow your account get terminated. Okay. Then you should always ensure that your book interior is neat and well formatted. But with Stackley manuscript, this problem is already solved. But in the future, as you begin to build your number of titles and you decide to create your own manuscripts, whether it's public domain books you want to publish, or you want to, because you can actually get public domain books on Project Gutenberg, but you have to format them yourself. So Stackley already has done that for you, and this is where a lot of people I know have an issue because they don't know how to format manuscripts. What Stackley does is that we have experts. Stackley has experts who are skilled in this area of editing, book manuscript, book writing, and they are the ones who format the manuscripts. So with Stackley manuscript, you don't have an issue because the book interior is already neat and well formatted. But if you do create yours, always ensure that the book interior is neat and well formatted for a good customer experience. And always double check that the book title, the author, this book description, keywords, and every other thing in the book has no typographical error of any sort. So always double check before you click save and move forward. And always ensure that you have included the translator's name as a contributor. Any book that has a translator, always be sure you've included the translator, and always check, always click on go to your Stackley manuscript that you intend to publish and look through it to see if there's any translator in the book. If there's a translator, it will be written in the book. Then always ensure that you cross-check that the public domain book you are publishing is in the public domain in the country that you are choosing before you select the territory. Okay? All right. It's all easy. With the internet, it's very easy to check these things. All right. So we've come to the end of the course. I hope this has been really helpful. This has been really useful, and I hope that by now you have been able to publish one or two or even three books, at least your 3 books for the day. So you can do that with this information. You can go back and watch it again, listen. Any place you didn't quite get, you watch it again or listen to it again. And if you do have any questions, you can contact Stackley by sending an email to support@stackley.com. That's the customer support email. And if you do not have your Stackley manuscript pack, but you are watching, you are going through this course, you're welcome to acquire a manuscript pack at stackley.com at the email provided. And so when you have your manuscript pack, you find out it's so much easier. It's just plug and play. Just click, upload, and you've done your 3 books for the day, and you take the rest of the day off, do other things, and come back tomorrow. Click, upload. But if you were actually trying to create your own manuscript, I can assure you it will take you such a long time to even get 1 book published. All right. I hope this has been helpful, and I want to say congratulations and congratulations again. And I wish you the very best. I wish you great sales, prosperity and increase in your publishing journey.